And we're joined now by Giordana Mosseri, Managing Director at investment management firm Clarity Capital, for a look at the top hedge fund industry trends in 2015. Ms. Mosseri, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me.
So what is the situation in the hedge fund industry? I mean, are investors putting more assets into hedge funds, or is the industry on the decline following growing regulation?
Okay, so the hedge fund industry is always changing. We have always to be on top of the industry to really understand trends and movements. Despite all the history and the media stories with a negative aspect about hedge funds, actually the reality of the industry is pretty different. We see a lot of funds, smaller funds closing, but in total terms, we see the industry growing at high levels. We are estimating numbers as $3 trillion, of which 1/3 is coming from the top 25 managers. Okay. So high concentration on top names and growing industry despite the media. Of course, there is a lot of regulation since 2008. The regulators started to working hard to ensure the industry, especially the European regulation. We have a new regulation in Europe especially for U.S. funds marketing in Europe. We should know that the European market represented 25% of the U.S. Investments in the large U.S. hedge fund space. Today, it's much more difficult. There is a new regulation called IFND, and so it's for the hedge fund coming from the U.S., it's forbidden to make marketing in the Europe. If not, they only have to be regulated. It would take some time.
How have hedge fund returns shifted in recent years?
The dispersion of the hedge fund industry is pretty diversified. We have hedge fund that did very well. We had fund that did less well. Depends on the strategy and depend on the manager as well. We had good numbers, of course, after 2008, and less interesting years in 2011 and probably also 2013 compared to the market. The hedge fund industry underperformed. We had great numbers, but when the Standard & Poor's is just going up so much, you should expect skilled manager to perform more. However, we always have to remember that hedge funds are hedging, meaning they are reducing the risk on the portfolio, and they are performing better in more difficult scenarios.
What investment strategies are attracting the most attention as we start 2015?
Okay, great question. This is the question, actually. We see that the more interesting strategies are relative value, strategies that have less exposure to the market, both in the fixed income and equity. We don't know exactly what will happen. We really saw in the second part of 2014 a lot of noise in the market. Finally, after many, many years of up markets, we saw energy going down. So all the strategies that are less correlated to the market, that are able to deliver positive return on all kinds of market conditions, which are investing both in equity or fixed income, very tactical oriented, very trading oriented, very liquid.
Okay. Well, Giordana Mosseri, Managing Director of Clarity Capital, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.